Thank you and welcome everyone to this session on SUGCON Europe 2024. First of all, I want to say that I'm really excited to be presenting at SUG Kolkata. I'm based out of Netherlands currently, but I'm born and brought up in Kolkata, so I'm really excited for this. We already have SUGs for Bangalore, Pune, a lot of SUGs in India, but finally we have one for Kolkata also, which is like really exciting. And I want to congratulate both Arjun, Kaushik, and everyone involved in SUG setting up this SUG Kolkata and also the sessions that they are doing and the great work. So just keep it up and all the best for the next sessions that you will host. Uh, so today,
Thank you, Sumit.
yeah, yeah, okay. So today I want to talk about the SUGCON Europe 2024 highlights. It's 11 May today, and 1 month before, like April 11th and April 12th, we had the SUGCON Europe in Dublin, and I was fortunate enough to be a part of it. And I want to share some of the highlights, the key takeaways from my perspective. So we'll quickly move to the agenda. Yes. So today I'm going to first of all introduce myself, talk a little bit about myself and what I do, and then we'll talk a little bit about SUGCON, what it is and why we should be part of it, why we should attend, and then a little bit about the agenda for this year, like what was there and what was the sessions that were there. So it's good to know that. And then the keynote from Dave Flanagan, who is the new CEO from Sitecore. He was working as a chief product officer, but he recently got promoted to the CEO and he presented a wonderful keynote. So I want to share some of that. And then I'll delve into the key takeaways from the session. And then I'll share some resources, some links, which can be useful if you want to go through the sessions and what it includes. Yeah, and then we can have some question and answers later on if you have any. So let's get started. Yeah, this is about me. I'm Sumit Upadhyay. I'm currently based out of Netherlands, but as I mentioned, my hometown is Kolkata. So yeah, this is really exciting to be presenting at SUG Kolkata. I'm working as a software engineer at iQuality in Netherlands, and I have more than 11 years of IT experience. Most of the experience is into Sitecore development and related technologies. I have been selected as a Sitecore MVP technology for this year, so I'm really proud of it. And yes, mostly focused into Sitecore, .NET, and Azure, and I'm certified in various versions of Sitecore. What is SUGCON? SUGCON stands for Sitecore User Group Conference, and it's actually a community event. It's an event by the community and for the community, and it brings entire like Sitecore community and Sitecore ecosystem together under one roof, and it provides the perfect platform to gain knowledge, gain insights, and also share knowledge. If you have any, like you can present at one of these subcons to share your own expertise and knowledge. And yeah, these sessions can be really inspiring. Like even if you are starting out with Sitecore, or if you have like tons of experience, like maybe 10 or 20 years of experience, attending these cons or events can be really inspiring, and you can have a fresh perspective of Sitecore, or if there's any other event that you're attending, you can have a fresh outlook on it. So generally, we'll have like 4 subcons throughout the year, and SUGCON Europe happens to be the first one for the calendar year. This is the general pattern that we have. For this year, the SUGCON Europe took place in Dublin on April 11th and 12th. It's normally a 2-day event, and the next one that's planned is SUGCON India, which is supposed to be held on June the 6th. I think the nominations or the applications are closed because Kaushik was mentioning that there are like limitation of 250 members, and maybe that's already filled up. But if you still can, I would highly encourage you to do so, like register for it. And I also got to know that the session is kind of free. There's no like Sitecore ticket for that. So if you can avail that opportunity, I will highly encourage you to be there and be a part of it, because as I mentioned, these SUGCON events are like a really wonderful opportunity to be there and know more about Sitecore. Last year we had SUGCON North America also and SUGCON ANZ. Like this is the general pattern, these 4 sessions. But this time around, like this year, we will have a Sitecore symposium. So no Sitecore North America and no Sitecore ANZ also. As you can see, it's written see you in 2025. So these 2 SUGCONs will take place only in 2025. Now, why do you want to be a part of these events? I briefly mentioned like these sessions or these events can be inspiring, even if you are just starting out or even if you are like if you're having a lot of experience into software development, these sessions can be really inspiring and you tend to know more about the product, about the way forward, and it's an event by the community. So everything from like the organizing bit and the sessions, everything is by the community. There's also sessions from the Sitecore people, and most of the time, the Sitecore, like who from Sitecore, they also are a part of these events. So you can meet them firsthand and talk and get to know about it. And the lineup for these sessions are like wonderful. They're awesome. Sessions from the Sitecore members presenting the roadmap, the keynotes, and the way forward with Sitecore, and also the community members, what they are working on, or the new things that they are trying. They also tend to present it. So yeah, again, another opportunity or great way to be a part of this. And it's not just, it is a developer focused event, but it's not just like a technical event or a developer related event. These events tend to have like best of both worlds. It's both for technical as well as for marketing people. So being a part of it is like, it's a no-brainer. And then we also tend to have a CEO keynote. Generally, the session kicks off with the keynote from the CEO or any other like higher management from the Sitecore. And these keynotes actually provide insights as to where the product is headed. And there are also like several tracks. Like now with Sitecore, we have like 11 SaaS products and also the DXP product, XM, XP, and then XM Cloud and other products. So they also tend to have the roadmap of these, like what Sitecore is working on, where are they headed, and what are they up to. Yeah, and yeah, as I mentioned, these events, the best part of being part of these events is like networking. You get to meet everyone from Sitecore or most of the people from Sitecore and also the community members. Like this time around, I was lucky enough to meet Dillian Young, who is like, I think most of us have seen videos from him, Glassmapper and other videos, and he was like really nice to meet and talk with. I also got the opportunity to meet Jeremy Davis, who was like the 10-time MVP, and he is like a Sitecore stalwart. Yeah. So meeting these guys, talking to them, what they are up to, what they are doing, and the challenges that they are facing, or like I can even also share my experiences or things that I'm getting stuck into, and problems that I have. I can share those and get answers to those firsthand. So yeah, being a part of these events is like a no-brainer. And if you have the opportunity, if you have the chance, if you can, I would highly, highly encourage you to attend it. Yeah, the next thing, we'll just have a quick look at the agenda for this year. So yeah, this one, this year, really the pattern is like it's a 2-day event, Thursdays and Fridays. And for this year, the 11th of April, it started. And the way, general like way of these events is like the first part is booked for the workshop, and then the certification. This time around, the certification was for XM Cloud. Last year, the session was in Malaga, Spain, the Europe one I'm talking about. There was a certification exam for Sitecore 10 developer certification. And also like those who are not interested in certification, they can just go the registration. And then normally we'll have lunch. And the first session, kickoff session, is generally done like this time it was done by CEO from Sitecore, the new CEO, and he was actually presenting in his hometown in Dublin, and he was also like really excited and really thrilled to be presenting. It was actually the first time that he was appearing as a CEO. Uh, uh, yeah, it was good. And then the next session was like, well, it was from Peter Brinkman. He's already he has been working with Sitecore. He's been involved in Sitecore for a long, long time, and he basically showed how to integrate different Sitecore products together. So he had this wonderful use case. He did a live demo, by the way, and he had this wonderful use case of like having a landing page with the form, and then the form with the QR scan code, and the audience, there were like 300 of them, and we needed to scan that QR code, and then that input from us, the name, the full name, like first name, last name, and also our title. Those were integrated with AI. So if we put in some bad word or some word that didn't represent our surnames or first names, then it would be rejected. And he took those names and he put it in a wheel of spin kind of a raffle. And the wheel of spin actually picked out winners, and then he like gave away freebies to those people who were selected. And the next session was from Liz Nelson. He's working in Sitecore, and he talked about the future of developer experience. Uh, Even though the title says about the developer experience and the future of it, but she was mostly talking about XM Cloud and the way forward with XM Cloud. And then we had like a lot of different and useful, insightful sessions. Problem with these sessions, from my point of view, is like there are three sessions together, like in parallel. So it's difficult to like pick and choose one and like leave out the other two, because I feel like all of them deserve to be attended and be part of. But then due to time constraints, it's possible. And luckily, Sitecore will upload them to their YouTube channel, the SUGCON YouTube channel, and maybe like the sessions that, some of the sessions that I have watched, I can rewatch them, and the sessions that I missed out because like I had to choose one, I can watch those. So I'll share that link if you guys are interested. I think these SUGCON YouTube channel have the previous YouTube videos also, like the sessions also from yesteryear, so you can uh, watch that one. So a lot of useful sessions, and as you can see, there is this technical breakout, marketing breakout. So the sessions in these rooms were like mostly related to marketing, but the sessions related in the nice week was more like technical stuff. I'm not going to one of the sessions, but yeah, the one from Friday, the start, from Colin and Peter. These two gentlemen are working at Sitecore, and they were like presenting the future of DXP platform. DXP is for Digital Experience Platform, and it basically means the XP and XN. So the highlights or the key takeaways that I'm going to present are actually based on the session from them and the session from Liz, and also the keynote I'll cover. Even though like I've attended a lot of sessions, like Friday that it was all boards of lineup, but I'm not going to cover like all of them. My main focus will be on these three sessions, and also there's like towards the end on Thursday there's community dinner, and then they announce the winners. And there's a community quiz also. I'm not sure if there is one on India, but generally in SUGCON Europe there is one, and I happen to be a part of it, and I actually stood for it. I'm really proud of it. They gave me a T-shirt also for that. So yeah, uh, okay, if you want, you could attend the community quiz night also. It's not like mandatory. So I'll shift back to my slides and then present it. Yes. After the agenda, we can go into the keynote. keynote from Dave Flanagan. Like you mentioned, this was the first session from him, like the first public appearance of him as a Sitecore CEO. He has been working as a Sitecore chief product officer till now for the last 3 years after Boxever got acquired. And this was his first public appearance as a Sitecore CEO. And the first and like a real strong statement that he made was that XM and XP is going nowhere. Like although we have heard like last year also it was mentioned in Malaga, uh, in Europe, like SUGCON Europe, that XM and XP is here to stay and it's not going anywhere. But this time around, it felt a little more like he had this, like, he put it out in a strong way. Yes, I'm saying it. I'm the CEO and I'm the boss, and I can assure you guys like XM and XP is here to stay. So it's kind of a good assurance for all the customers that are there on the XM and XP platform and do not have that inclination towards XM Cloud. So they can still like go with this platform. Next, he focused on product, people, and ecosystem in his keynote. He mentioned about product and like Sitecore have invested a lot in the product, but they will continue to do so. They will continue to innovate and invest and make this platform like more stable, more robust, more bulletproof, and also at the same time like, enhance it and include more and more features in it. And he's also excited with working with all the Sitecore employees, the Sitecore people. For him, they are like the amazing people that are behind this tech stack. And for him as a CEO, his responsibility is like how he can unlock them so that they can, at the end of the day, they can deliver more value. They can like innovate more and then produce more and then like create more beautiful products. And with the ecosystem, he was talking about the partnerships that Sitecore has developed or have had, like the partnership with Microsoft or with Vercel, and the future partnerships that they are trying to make or they will do. And then he also talked a bit about the Sitecore community and the site in the ecosystem frame. He mentioned about the Stack Exchange, the Sitecore Slack, which has actually more than 10,000 members now, and like there was a big round of applause for that. Yeah, so these were like the starting points of his keynote. And after that, he had this like 3 points: simplify, choice, and innovate. With simplify, he was talking about the product. Actually, simplify, he was talking about simplify across the board, not just the product. Like simplify the product for sure, like make the product more easy to use and more understandable. But then there are other aspects also that he wants to simplify, like the process of release management and other like various processes in the Sitecore ecosystem. He wants to simplify those. He also wants to simplify the pricing. Sitecore is known to be like kind of opaque with pricing, not very simple with that. So he wants to like break those barriers and make it more simple to understand. Also simplify with the marketing. Like even though they have released a lot of products, but maybe they haven't marketed it well. Like some of the products may be not doing well, so he wants to like go there and simplify the process there and yeah, make it more easy to understand and so that it's easy for the customer to buy also and understand what the product is about. And when he talked about choice, he mentioned about the customer-centric nature. Like if a customer is on Sitecore 9, for example, and they want to stick with Sitecore 9, they should be able to do so. If a customer is on on-prem version or a PaaS version, Sitecore should be able to support that. So with choice, it's not like forcing customers to upgrade or forcing customers to move to XM Cloud or other SaaS products. It's like meeting the customers where they want to meet them. So Sitecore will take steps or initiatives so that they can meet the customers there where they want them to meet. And with innovate, he was talking about the fabulous journey that Sitecore has had. like in the past 3 years, Sitecore have created this suite of products, these SaaS composable API first headless products in the past 3 years. So it's like tremendous innovation from them, from like a very large organization, and it's a journey that it's not easy to take for a lot of customers or a lot of product companies, but they have managed to do so, and he's like really proud of it. And after that, he also announced Sitecore 10.4, which is already live now. It got released on the 30th of April. So in the event, in the keynote, he mentioned about the Sitecore 10.4 and the features that are coming. Okay. And as part of the keynote, he also provided an analogy, the analogy between the electric car and the combustible car. So in right hand side, you can see the starting point, and then in the left hand side, you can see the hose for petrol or diesel. So there's a similar analogy with the XM Cloud and then the XP and XM product that Sitecore has. So it's actually kind of very easy or simple to understand. Like a lot of us have the combustible car, but have the vision to go to an electric car. But for some reason, we are not able to do so. Maybe like cost constraints, maybe like we are having a tendency or doubts whether the electric car can go the extra mile. Like there's obviously a certain like distance that you can cover, and after which you need to recharge again. But whether it will be sufficient, whether it won't be sufficient, and yeah, even after that, there are like other parameters that we need to consider before eventually moving to electric. So these things are like in our mind. In one aspect, we want to move to the electric car, but in other, like there are like hindrances or points that we need to consider before actually making the move. And this is actually similar to the customers that are on XP or XM and have the vision to move to XM Cloud, but are unable to do so now. So Sitecore, like in his message, he wants to say like we are able to support you guys. Like tomorrow, if you want to move to XM Cloud, that's fine with us. If you want to move like maybe 5 years later, that's also fine with us. Or if you don't want to move to XM Cloud, that is also okay with us. And then there's also the concept of hybrid. So with electric and combustible, there's like a hybrid car where you can cover certain part of the journey, certain distance through the electric, but like after a certain point, you can convert to the petrol or diesel part. So Sitecore is also trying to bring in that approach here. Like even though you are on XP or XM, but then you can still reap the benefits or reap the rewards of the SaaS products. Like you are on XP, but you do not want to use the EXM, for example, you can avail the benefit of Sitecore Send. So in a way, it's like a hybrid kind of an approach that Sitecore is trying to move towards. Moving on to the next, as for the keynote itself, the new Chief Product Officer, Robert Connolly, he has been promoted as the Chief Product Officer, and he talked about AI and how Sitecore is working towards like making AI, like integrating AI in every aspect of the product, making it part of the entire platform, entire product, right from content creation to actually delivering experience. And he had this 2 or 5 minutes video where he showed a sneak peek of the work that is going around. It's still not live. I think it might be live towards the end of the year, but that's something that Sitecore is constantly working towards. And obviously AI is like in 2024 is like ever present. So, and Sitecore is like, they don't want to fall behind, and they also want to work towards AI and integrate AI as much as possible so that it's easier for the content authors or marketeers to use it. And Nabil or Fali from the Sitecore community, he actually recorded the entire keynote. The keynote from Dave Flanagan, the Sitecore CEO, and he posted it in YouTube. And this is the link. So if you haven't seen it already, you can just go to this link and check it out. Okay, moving on to the key takeaways. As I mentioned, the takeaways mostly will be from those two sessions. The session from Peter and Colin from the DXP part, and then the session from Liz, who talked about the developer experience at first, but also like the vision or the way forward for XM Cloud and the Catalyst product. So we start with the DXP bit. The key takeaways for the DXP platform. I am really sorry for the images. I was actually sitting like really in front, and this scene was like so. That's why the image came out like this. I hope you guys are able to read it. But like the first part of this strategy that Sitecore has like made, it's kind of a change because generally like Sitecore 9, they will release certain features and then the new features like 9.2, 9.3, maybe 10.1 or 10.2. The features that are released, they are like not backward compatible. If you want to enjoy the latest and the greatest bit from Sitecore, you need to go to the, you need to have an upgrade so that you can actually enjoy those things. But what Sitecore is trying to do is lower the barrier of. So they are building a lot of things, but they understand like not everyone is able to enjoy that and have the fun of it. So what they are trying to do is lower this barrier. So some of the features that they are releasing, they will also release for the lower versions, Sitecore 9, for example, or like if you're on Sitecore 10.1, you don't need to upgrade to 10.3 for certain features. And obviously, it won't be for all the features because it's not. I don't think it's possible to support all the features, but at least some of the features which are like necessary, they can be made available. And the strategy that they have adopted is like a Sitecore module. It's similar to like, for example, Sitecore PowerShell extensions. It's a Sitecore module, and there are like various versions of it. Versions for Sitecore 9.1, versions for Sitecore 10.1, and based on your version, the version where you are at, you can have that zip file and then install it. So Sitecore is also trying to release these features as Sitecore modules. So there's no need for a full-blown upgrade project. You can just install those packages and reap the rewards of these features. So just read through lower barriers to capability adoption going forward by focusing on releasing modules instead of like waiting for a major version. So you don't need to wait for the for an upgrade for these. And new releases and cumulative patches will focus on compatibility and ongoing core dependency upgrades for support along with overall experience and UI updates. Yep, moving on to the next. And these were the roadmap highlights by Colin and Peter. And as you can see, the highlights were divided into three parts, like first for the core XM and XP, and the second focused on the site delivery, and then the third one focused on the integrations. Now, for the core XM and XP, the first one was related to AI. There's a slide later on where Sitecore is trying to like have identified several use cases and they want to build those use cases into the platform. They also want to refresh the UI, the entire UI. They want to make it like seamless. So whether you're on XM Cloud or maybe on XM or XP, you will have the similar look and feel. If you've already installed Sitecore 10.4, you can all like compare with the XM Cloud one, and the look and feel is like very similar. So Sitecore is working towards like a similar kind of an user interface for all their products. Then native user support to seamlessly switch from XM, XP, and SaaS capabilities. So switching like I mentioned, an example will be the EXM and the Sitecore. So if you wanted to switch or transition from EXM to Sitecore, you should be able to do that seamlessly. There shouldn't be like a lot of work required to have this switch. And also they will develop like new tools that will help modernize the code base. The current code base is good, but then they want to work towards making it more modern. Excuse me. For site delivery, they also want to optimize the MVC, CD topologies, and they've actually there was also a slide related to the managed cloud and a lot of work that they have done. So yeah, for site delivery around that, they also want to work on the Microsoft Fabric data lake and analytics support, and then the edge publishing. If you are on XM and if you are using the headless way of working, we have seen that the publishing is not adequate, and sometimes it's getting stuck and it's getting queued. So they want to like improve that, make it more fast and make it more easy, and also port XM Cloud Edge personalization capabilities. So the XM Cloud Edge functionality and personalization, they want to bring those stuff to the XM and XP platform as well. And for the integrations, these are like the XM Cloud content synchronization. So they've already released a tool which helps migrate the XM content to XM Cloud. So the first point of this one is the XM Cloud content synchronization is actually talking about that tool. And then they want to enable Sitecore Search. Sitecore Search is their SaaS product for search, and they want to support that with the XM and XP platform also. So with integration, actually all four of them, XM Cloud, then Sitecore Search, and then the next one is Sitecore Connect, and then the CDP. So with all these 4 points, they are actually trying to like make the XM and XP platform more suitable for integration with these SaaS products. And I think you can see like there's a thing over here, like and there for some of the points, and it's written like targeted as 10x modules. So all these will be released as Sitecore modules. If you, I think 10.x means like even if you're on 10.0 or 10.1, you should be able to install these modules and then like enjoy these. Yeah, instead of like waiting for going to 10.4 and then having it. Yeah, the focus is on like composable integrations, and also they are still working on enhancing the DXP platform. So it's one thing like saying the XP and XM is going nowhere and actually not doing anything with it, and the other thing is like actually making it even more better. With these roadmaps, we can identify like yes, Sitecore is really interested in making this product even more better. This point, the codeless schema extensions, this was actually released with 10.4, and with this, what they mean is whenever we are working with contact faces and like earlier we needed to add custom code for achieving these behaviors, like achieving these personalization rules. Now Sitecore, what they have done is they have understood and they know like it's better that these things are out of the box in the product itself. So the time to market, or because they are out of the box, so like us, we developers do not need to write these code to enable it, since they are like out of the box. So personalization, segmentation, marketing automation, analytics, these spaces, these various personalization rules, they are out of the box, and you can just start using it once you have 10.4. And I think they will release it for the earlier versions also. Yeah, and these are the five use cases I briefly talked about earlier. Sitecore does want to integrate AI like, entire platform. They want to make a part of it, and these are the five use cases that they have identified. So the first one is populate an item with item field with title, content, and auto tagging. So once you create an item, the title, the content, or the tagging, these are like already done by AI. So you don't need to do that yourself. Once you just create an item, these fields need to be auto-populated using an AI service. Generating whole item trees based on prompts. So I think they will have a text box where we can just write like clear these tree structures for me for a website based on technology. So the entire Sitecore tree will be created based on this user prompt. It actually remains to be seen like how this will function, but when they said it really looked promising. Like entire Sitecore content tree being generated just on based on a user prompt. The next one is translation of content. So it's actually self-explanatory. It's like you have an English version and you've already written the text for it, and you are like using a multilingual website where you have maybe Chinese, or Japanese, or any other language, Spanish maybe. Uh, so you want the translations to be automatic and done by AI and not maybe the validation and verification can be done by a person, but the conversion, the translation can be done by AI. And then sentiment based content modifications. So with the fourth point, sentiment based content modifications, they want to like have different context or different text based on the personalization rules. So if for some like based on if a user is on a website and he's on a airline website and he's already taken few steps, maybe booked a ticket already. So based on the sentiment, based on the journey that he is on, they will have different text, and these text based on the user, based on whatever he's already done on the website, these will be again generated by AI. And the fifth one is also kind of similar one, a simple one, image generation based with DALL-E, and it will also be based on a user prompt, like generate an image for me with various, based on the user prompt. And the solution approach that they want to work towards is splitting the UI from backend contract, so making the AI like more extensible. They also want to bring they also want to offer a choice to us, the Sitecore partners. Like we can integrate our own AI into the platform. So they have a concept of bring your own AI or bring your own key. And they also want to build a Sitecore AI service for this. Yeah, so these are the 5 use cases that they have identified as of now for content generation with XML I think these, I'm not sure if these are already available in XM Cloud, but for XML these are the 5 use cases. And these are these are some of the offerings that Sitecore is working on, and some of them they have already released, and the compatibility metrics they've also mentioned. So 10.4, it was out on 30th of April, end of April. It's already out, it's publicly available. And Managed Cloud, I briefly mentioned about it. So they have done a lot of improvements to Managed Cloud, and most of them is like decreasing the downtime, more support, and also upgrading the tier. So if they were hosting a virtual machine and it was on suppose V2, they have now upgraded to V3 like that. So the 2.0 of Managed Cloud Pass was released on August 2023, and that is compatible with 10.3.1. And they also released an update for that one in the March of this year, and that's also compatible with 10.3.1. The codeless schema that I already mentioned, they have released it with Sitecore 10.4, and in the Q2 of this year, 2024, they want to release another version, and that will be compatible with 10.2 onwards. So you don't need to be on 10.4 to have these codeless schema. They are also working on analytics extractor. we have all worked with the experience XP experience analytics, and getting, even though like it has a lot of data, a lot of insights, but then getting those data out for business intelligence purpose, it's not like easy. It's kind of a tedious task, and Sitecore wants to simplify that using this tool. So what this analytics extractor will do is like export, have the capability to export the experience analytics data as a JSON or a CSV, and then use that in our BI tool. This they want to release in Q2 of 2024, and this they will make it available from 10.0 onwards. Sitecore Connect for XConnect, this they have already released it, and the interesting thing is it's compatible with Sitecore 9 onwards. So even though like Sitecore 9 is kind of old, Sitecore 10.4 is the current latest version, but this module they have released for Sitecore 9. So they want even the Sitecore 9 customers to have the option of connecting, of using this Sitecore Connect composable product. And XM to XMC integration, or this is a tool with which you can take your XM content and then migrate it to your XM Cloud instance. This they have already released. They have released the 1.0 version of this one, so it's already live. It's available for use. And this is currently compatible with 10.1. They will release another version of this one, 2.0. They will release it in Q2, and that will be compatible with 9.1 onwards. So again, a terrific step from Sitecore. So suppose you are on, for example, Sitecore 9.1, and you want to move to XM Cloud. I think with this strategy, you don't need to come to 10.4. You can easily migrate your content to XM Cloud directly, and then there you can build in the XM Cloud directly. So there's no need to like first from 9 come to 10 and then go headless and then go XM Cloud. So I really like the strategy. They also like there's a lot of XDB data, and you want to like migrate those content to the CDP platform, the Sitecore CDP and Sitecore Personalize. So the way to migrate it, they have created this tool, and again, this one is also available from 9 onwards. So if you're on Sitecore 9 and you have a lot of XDB data and you want to stop using HTTP, like you are on XP and you want to move to XM for some reason, or this is just a use case. If you want to do that, what you can do is like move the XDB data, take it out and use this tool to push it to CDP, and then it's like a hybrid platform that you're creating. So with XM and then the Sitecore CDP. Okay, moving on. Just a little bit of summary of all the points that I've mentioned for the DXP platform. So the first point that it's really understandable from the roadmap and the features that they have built. They have also actually built a new thing in Sitecore 10.4, which is the language. Like earlier, whenever we created a language, we needed to specify like EN/US. We could not create EN/TS, for example. There wasn't an option, but they have created that. So the point that I'm trying to make here is Sitecore have said that they will support XM and XP at least until 2032, because 2032 is the like lifetime of 10.4 version. So they will continue to support that, but it's not like just support. They are also making strides in making this platform more stable and also releasing more and more features to make it better. So even if you are on XM or XP, there's no need to worry like it's going away or anything like that. Making it easier to integrate these SaaS products. Again, this from the earlier slides, it's easy to understand like the features that they have released. They want to have this hybrid approach where you are on XP and XM, but still you can use the SaaS products from Sitecore. Yep. And longer version support. means that Sitecore will not push customers to upgrade. So like 10.4, for example, it's supported till 2032. And also they are releasing modules for Sitecore 9. So making the transition, if you need it, a little easier. So they are not like I mentioned earlier, Dave in his keynote, he wants to meet the customer where they are. If you're on Sitecore 9, if you're on-prem, if you are like different infrastructure or a different way of deployment, Sitecore should be able to support that. And this is what it means. And also they want to streamline the UI with the rest of the product portfolio. So the entire product suite should have a similar look and feel, a similar user interface, so that it's a Sitecore product. So everything should be aligned and everything, the look and feel should be similar. It should not come out as a different product altogether. Yep. Next, we can move on to the XM Cloud takeaways. These are from the session from Liz. So initially, she was talking about the developer experience, like when you are building a product, some of the developer experience principles that, like as a developer or as a product manager, you should keep in mind. And the first point that she talked about was all user experience product rules apply. So what does she mean by this? Is like you are building for the developer. You are like focusing on the developer experience, but then you should not bypass the user experience aspect of it. You should focus on that also. There should not be a trade-off. You should it should go both hand in hand. Yeah. Designed for simplicity. So when you are creating a product, when you are envisioning a product, you should try to make it as simple as possible. Be it with the naming choices that you make, name for the class, name for the methods. Those should be like easy to understand and simple. The design patterns that you have incorporated in the product, it should not take months or years for a developer to understand like which design pattern is being followed or which technology is being used. So it should be easy to understand and easy to use. Also, when you're building a product, it's not only about like the happy flow, like the one route. There are like different outcomes that can happen, and the error handling, exception handling, those should also be part of the developer experience. How do you debug and how easy the errors, how do you capture them, and also like if they are failing, they should fail in a graceful manner. It's not like it's completely breaking the application. And the learning curve. So if you are if you have already released a product, it should not take months for a developer to understand the product and like be productive. It should be fast. It should be like the gap should be like a feasible one and an easy one, so that it's like they can be productive from day one, or maybe like a quick time. So even though Sitecore have released XM Cloud and supposedly it's doing really well, but they want to reevaluate it and design it based on these product principles. And it's really heartening to see, because the product in itself is doing well, but Sitecore is not like resting on its laurels, and they are like continuing to strive and make this product even more better. Now, the next one is the framework agnostic use of pages. The problem that she was stating is like the JSS and the start kit are doing a lot behind the scenes to support the visualization. And this is actually is kind of problematic, because it's not simple. It ties up with the earlier point, like simplify the design. So the strategy that they want to adopt is like move everything to the pages application, so that it's not framework dependent. And the benefits that she's seeing is currently like there's a separate starter kit, one for React, one for Angular, one for Next.js, one for Vue, for example. Now, if all these framework related dependencies are moved out, and then they're put into the pages and the SDK of JSS, then it becomes framework agnostic. So then we are actually having just one framework or one starter kit for all the frameworks. So this is the path forward that she sees. The next one is, again, it kind of ties up with the earlier point. They want to modernize the starter kit. So they have like multiple starter kits and it's kind of complicated. So she wants to reduce that and make it simple, and also upgrading the starter kit. Like suppose you're on 20.x, and if you want to move to the headless JSS, say 21.x, there's a lot of things that you need to do. And if they can do like move everything into the SDK, move everything into the pages application, then this part, the upgrade part, will also be like easier. Yep. The next one is moving from content to experience. So there are like several use cases that she has identified. So if the content is static and doesn't change very often, then those things you can generate at build time. Those you do not need, you can just generate it and then cache it. If the experiences are dynamic, if they are changing like quickly, then based on the user experience, like there are like 2 points that she's identified. One is based on the user experience that we already know. Information should be relevant even before the user sees it. So this use case should be generated on either on server or on edge runtime. These should not be generated at build time because these are kind of dynamic, these are changing, and based on user interaction. So if a user clicks on a button, if a user does something based on the user actions, those should be generated at client time. So these are the like 3 use cases of generating content, of generating experiences that she has identified, and also the places where they should be generated. And Sitecore with its XM Cloud framework should be able to support all these static, dynamic, server runtime, edge runtime, client runtime. Sitecore should be able to support these.
বাবু প্রাপারনি এটাই ক্রিয়েটিভ এই
You go.
ফ্রেমটা দিয়ে
Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. The next problem that she identified was that there is we have the concept of edit frames in XP, but then we do not use edit frames in XM Cloud. So she wants to find an alternate route of availing this, and the proposed solution that she has in mind is a data view for editing field data, and also like a field level data binding pattern. She wants to introduce that to resolve this edit frame problem. And the next one is new patterns for third-party integrations are not available in xCloud without customizing the XM instance directly. This is actually not for us. This is for Sitecore themselves, because obviously we cannot modify or tinker XM Cloud. So it's for them. Like if they wanted to introduce any third-party integration, it's not easily possible. So they want to change the architecture here. They want to introduce a plugin sort of an architecture that's like plug and play. So again, this is for Sitecore themselves, but this is one of the points that she mentioned. The next problem that she raised or she pointed out was integrated GraphQL and the difficulties in testing, and also the uncomfortable context switching. There's no equivalent pattern for custom content resolution. So if you wanted custom content out of the JSON, there's no mechanism for that as of now. And the solution for those is like build external data service, or like build at runtime, or even bring like the customer should be able to bring their own data source. The next bit that she mentioned about was the authoring APIs and the difficulties with it. Like to use the authoring APIs, management APIs, you need to have extensive Sitecore knowledge so that you can start using it. And the solution for this is like mostly they want to create a new set of APIs, new APIs for sites, new APIs for pages, new APIs for components and items. So with this, it's like no need for earlier knowledge of Sitecore about the authoring APIs. And Sitecore is also working on front-end masters. Front-end masters is similar to Pluralsight. They offer like a lot of courses, and Sitecore is working towards like if I am a backend developer, I have a lot of experience with backend development, MVC, and those kind of developments. I should be able to do front-end work, and vice versa. Like if there's a React developer or a Next.js developer, he or she should be able to understand the nitty-gritty of Sitecore and start like creating the content and also do everything with Sitecore, so that like it's a full stack kind of an environment where the backend can do front end can do backend. So these courses Sitecore is working on. I'm not sure when they are going to release it, but with these courses it will be easier for the backend as well as the front end developers. Yep. So this is about the FM Cloud summary, the takeaways. The main points that the XM Cloud session had was actually the pain points of development. Like it's not easy to just get started. There's a lot of knowledge required, and they want to reduce that gap, the learning curve. They want to reduce that, and also the magic that's happening under the hood. They want to reduce that. The reliance on Next.js. Like if you want to get started with headless, if you want to get started with XM Cloud, it's like not possible to do Angular or Vue or Blazor, for example. You just need to start with Next.js, which is actually good. Next.js is not bad. I'm not saying that. It's just that there's a heavy dependency. There's no other way. So what she in her session was suggesting is like move everything into the headless SDK, JSS SDK, and also the pages SDK, so that it kind of frees up and the piece of code, the starter kit is like framework agnostic, and we can just start whether we are developing on React, whether we are developing on Vue, it doesn't matter. We can just use the same starter kit for all. I'm not sure when they are going to like release these, but these are some of the things that they are working towards. Yeah, this is the summary. Yeah, these were the takeaways from me, and a big thank you to the organizers. As I mentioned, this was an event by the community and for the community, and the men in green over here, men and women actually, and Thomas Varga, the person with the mic in his hand, and the lady Nicole Montero. These are the people that are actually responsible for this event. I just want to say thank you to them. Some of the resources, there are like two blogs from Jason Sincere. He was actually in US at the time. From the comfort of his sofa, he managed to create these two blogs with a lot of images and a lot of points. I actually covered just three sessions, the keynote and then the session from Les and Colin and Peter, but he has covered the entire session. So if you have the time, I would highly encourage you to check this out. I've also written a short blog post highlighting the key points, again, the key takeaways. You could also read up on that. As I've already mentioned, there's Nabil Orfali. He's a community member. He's actually founder of Kaju, and he has uploaded a video. He recorded the video of the keynote from Dave Flanagan, and he posted it on YouTube. And I've shared the link for that one. All the videos of the sessions, I think most of the videos of the sessions will be released in this SUGCON YouTube channel. So I think it's nice to share that. Yep, we move to the questions. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Sumit. Thank you very much for the informations. I believe we have a couple of questions. Arjun,
Okay.
can you please go through the
Yes,
questions?
perfect. Yeah, sure. First of all, I want to thank Sumit for giving us such a detailed information about the event. It was like we were sitting with you, along with you. So the best example I took from your session was the electric car example, the hybrid model they want to run it. So that's a very nice thing. Coming to the question, I can see one question posted by myself as well. Itself. The question is, can you read the question, please? For AI content generation, the slide which for the AI content generation, was there any session in which they have showed the practical implementation, like how they have implemented the open UI for?
Yeah.
Were there any practical sessions over there?
Yeah, there was one session from Cole Smith and Rick Bauer, AI, the ultimate easy button, but I don't think there was a practical implementation of it. And in the keynote, the small bit that Professor Conley did, he actually provided a sneak peek of the video, like the entire content tree getting generated, and also the content translation, and then the content creation. So there was like a 2 to 5 minute video that he showed, which was kind of mesmerizing. And I think towards the end of the year they are going to release it, but there wasn't like a session apart from this one. At least there wasn't any session like based on how they are going to implement it.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Yes, Abhinav, please ask.
Yeah, hi. Thanks, Sumit. Thanks for the presentation. So what I would like to know is like, if you're saying like Sitecore is producing modules for the older versions, like their new composable architecture, like what are they expecting from this? Are they expecting more customers to stay on the older versions, and what are the kind of percentage customers are they moving to the newer versions? Like, and from a customer point of view, like what is the trade-off? Like, are they completely gonna stick with this older versions using the new modules, or so when are they going to update to the newer? So I mean, so what's the trade-off, like sticking to the older modules and going to the newer composable architecture?
Yeah, that's a really nice question, and thank you for that. As you can see, the modules that they have released, it's more for like if you are on Sitecore 9, you should be able to like switch from XDB to CDB. So I think they are happy to support the customers on the version they are at, but ideally I think they would like you to upgrade. But if you don't want to upgrade it now, I think they want to support you still. Like even if you are on Sitecore 9, there's no push towards like Sitecore 10 or like cloud, but then they want even the Sitecore 9 environment to be like available to use the SaaS products, for example. So the expectation is, I think at the end of the day, the expectation is to move to higher version or maybe XM Cloud. But then if you don't want to do it now, you can still enjoy the SaaS integrations and the new things that Sitecore are rolling out. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I can see there's one more question. It's from Biswajit. Was there any discussion AI for image optimization and processing?
Image optimization and processing, not that I remember of. Like I mentioned, from the AI aspect, like they are working on integration of DAL-E with into the XP platform. So there's like a bit for that. But just for image optimization, there wasn't any session or there wasn't any talk about it. So yeah, I'm not sure about it.
Any more questions? Okay, we'll take it as no. Thank you, Sumit, for giving us a very nice presentation, and thank you all for joining us.
Yes, I believe that's all, Sumit. Thank you very much, Sumit, for your time and detail.
Yeah, and again, I would like to thank you all for having me and attending this session. It means a lot. And also, I want to wish you all the best. I really hope that SUG Kolkata like prospers and thrives and reaches newer heights, similar to what XM Cloud and Sitecore they are doing. So I hope and I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Bye all.
Thanks all. Have a
Thanks everyone. Bye.